Hey folks, welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. We're floating the Peshtigo River in search of big old walleyes. These fish are all in our harbors.
Close to 14 there.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a blast.
Fleet Farm presents John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Fleet Farm, the ultimate fishing headquarters.
Yes, folks, it's a great feeling to be on the Peshtigo River up in Peshtigo, Wisconsin. This is a river, Tim, that I used to fish a lot in the 90s for smallmouth bass. But the way to really see this river is in a raft. And I'll tell you what, I love fishing out of this thing. And the walleyes could be big in here, right, Tim?
Yeah, we're catching some big fish.
Well, tell me about it. What do you use? What are they doing in here?
So we've been using a little bit of everything. Jerk baits and rip and wrap's been the best bait right now. I tried jigs and plastics, wasn't real good yesterday, so we're gonna run some rip and wraps and jerk baits to start out. Yesterday we got a couple close to 30, so hopefully we can get a couple like that today.
Well, I want to tell the folks that I love fishing out of this raft. I mean, I got this swivel seat, I can turn around, and I think the coolest thing is we can get to places where big boats can't, right?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have fun?
We are.
Hey folks, we'll show you what we're using and how we're using it. All of that coming up right after this. Folks, you could win a 2-day televised fishing trip with us only at Fleet Farm's Fleet Fest. Every weekend in April, your local Fleet Farm is packed with hot deals, sweepstakes, and giveaways. Plus, enter for your chance to win one of 5 grand prizes, including an Aaron's Onyx zero-turn mower, Milwaukee and DeWalt tool packages, a $1,000 Fleet Farm gift card, and of course, the 2-day televised fishing trip with us. Just scan the QR code to see all the events and get entered to win. Fleet Fest. Don't miss it.
Life definitely gets busy these days, so an outdoor person like me would much rather be hunting, fishing, or taking care of the critters on the farm.
That's why the AMSOIL app makes things easy. Track maintenance, get service reminders, and order the right products in seconds.
I can never remember the specifics of my wife's vehicle, so it was great on the app to just be able to scan the VIN or the license plate number and everything auto loads.
It's everything you need to stay on top of your vehicles right in your pocket.
So instead of worrying about maintenance,
you've got more time to fish. Download the AMSOIL app today. One app, everything AMSOIL.
There's more to explore. Pairing best-in-class Humminbird Explorer fish finders with Mega Live 2 live sonar is the simplest way to see it all. Zero in on the best place for a bite with more precision and more underwater detail. Then, when it's time to cast, see more real-time views of fish, structure, and your lure. If you want to stay more connected to the moments that matter, you need Explorer and Mega Live 2, only from Humminbird.
Hey Tim, look at this, buddy. I'll tell you what, I put a jerk minnow on and that was the second cast. You know that?
Awesome.
Feels pretty good too. Now, there's suckers in here too, so you hope that that's not the case, you know?
Suckers and occasional sturgeon.
Oh, really? Sturgeons too?
Oh yeah.
Well, that one actually hit pretty good.
Yeah, that looks like a
What are you thinking?
fish. Hopefully it's a good
Well, here he
size
comes.
walleye. Looks like a male. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's a beautiful walleye there, pal. You know, it's interesting, folks. I started out actually we even tried some live minnows on a jig, but this time around we found an area that's kind of slack, and I put that jerk minnow on it. What's the name of that jig? Do you know, Tim? That's that new one from Kalen's.
Yeah.
That's a tungsten jig, and I love the hook on that. But hold that walleye up. Look at the build on that thing there, Timmy. Isn't that a beautiful build?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a great fish.
That's a female, don't you think?
Yes, definitely pre-spawn fish.
Now, what we got to talk about, folks, is the type of water you look for. The Peshtigo River right now is pretty darn high. So what are you looking for to anchor and fish?
Slack spots. You want to get on you see these big bubble lines right outside of that where you get a little slower water. You can get bottom contact, get your jig down, or your crankbait, whatever you're running.
And then you look and see here too, you know, actually you got flooded areas, you know, on some of these islands and shorelines, and walleyes will actually use that to spawn, won't
Yeah,
they?
we've seen some splashing around in there already. They're starting to go right now. The water temps are getting to spawning temps and things are starting to happen.
How do you like this? Short pants and no shoes on April the 15th. What do you think?
Pretty awesome.
Pull that out though. That's a beautiful walleye wherever you go, folks. And that's a female, right?
Yes, sir.
She fought good in that current. You hooked up now, Timmy?
Yeah, seems
All
like
right, buddy.
seems like a big fish too.
All right, take your time. We got nothing but time. That last one I caught was a female. If this one's longer, it's going to be a big one. Okay, here you go there, Tim. Let's see what you got. Oh, there's a beautiful walleye. There's a beautiful, get him over here. Nicely done. Boy, that is a beautiful fish there, Timmy. That is a gorgeous walleye. I see you switch baits on me.
Yeah, I put on the old ripping wrap.
And that is more of a reaction bait?
Yeah, they don't seem to be engulfing anything today, so I thought maybe we could get some to do a reaction strike.
Ooh, you hooked
in the
just
corner.
beautifully, yeah. Now, I want you to check that. That's another female and
Yep.
see if the eggs are soft, if the eggs are hard. That'll give you an indication of how close we are to the spawn. So check his tummy there. And what do you got? Hard eggs?
Nice hard eggs.
So that means, you know, we should talk about the timetable here, Tim. Like I said earlier, today's April the 15th. This will last a while.
Yeah, I think it should last a little bit of time. The spawn will anyway. The fish will be in the river for quite a while, but with mid 70 degree temps coming in the next week, I think it's gonna go real quick.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. We're on the Peshtigo River today, but your favorite river?
I like the O'Connell the most for me, just because the raft is the best tool on there. You don't get so many big boats and stuff, but she was a little high for us to do that today.
Yeah, but no, this raft is awesome because we don't have to worry about hitting bottom or anything else.
No.
And again, it's comfortable.
Yeah, it's just a great raft.
That's a beautiful walleye, Tim.
Breaking news from Fleet Farm. The Daiwa Regal LT spinning reel features lightweight strength, smooth retrieve, and precision performance. All for just $59.99. On sale this week. Hurry in. Sale ends April 19th.
You know, it's kind of interesting this time of year, Tim, when you got high water. You got to use a lure that's heavy enough to get to the bottom.
Yep. You have to have something that's heavy enough to get to the bottom, make bottom contact, but you don't want it too heavy. But if it's not heavy enough, the current sweeps it under log. So there's a happy medium. You got to play around with your jigs and kind of break it down each day.
Now what I'm doing is using, like I said earlier, a jerk minnow, and I'm using a 1/4 ounce Google Eye jig, and that 1/4 ounce is enough to get down in the slack water. So you cast into the current and kind of pull it out to the edge of the current.
Yeah, I like working that current seam. I'll cast to the current and work it back into the still water, the slower water.
And you also like to use a flash.
Flash shad.
Flash shad is a really good bait. And how do you work a flash shad? Can you show us?
Yeah.
Okay, so cast
I like
out.
to cast on that seam. Let it
Okay.
get down a little bit. Just a nice rip, let it swing down. Nice
Okay.
rip, let it swing down.
So what that's doing is vibrating like that and going down like that.
Yep. You want it to pretty much touch the bottom too
Okay.
when you bring it back down.
So again, it's going like that and then like that.
The nose comes back down and hits the bottom really hard. A lot of the time the fish are gonna, sometimes they'll hit it on that big stall, but a lot of the time they'll hit it right when it hits the bottom.
And like I mentioned earlier in the program, you also bought live minnows along. You should be prepared for anything, right?
Yeah. Right now is kind of a weird time. Some days they'll want a live minnow, some days they want plastics, some days they want a rip and wrap. You never know what you're gonna deal with. We even got jerk baits along too.
Absolutely.
We were fishing the Peshtigo River in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, a 2.5-hour drive from Milwaukee, 3.5 hours from Chicago, and 5 hours from Minneapolis.
I've heard lawyers say, your job as the lawyer is to read the books, know the law, make the arguments. You can't get emotionally invested with your client. To do this job well, you have to. You have to get emotionally invested with your client. You have to connect with your client as a human being, or it never will be as authentic and real as it needs to be. We as trialers, we owe that to our clients. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to our community to tell their story. It's their story. It's not ours. And the only way to do that in an effective way is to truly care, to truly connect, and listen.
Jerk minnow again. Jerk minnow. Let's see. Let's see what we got here, buddy. What does it look like? Suck, yeah. This is one thing I want to tell you, folks. The suckers are also in here spawning and in huge numbers. And this is the first one we're filming just to show you. But I'll tell you what, I'd love to have that baby come October for muskie fishing there, Tim. But let's show the folks that they're very common in here this time of year, right? Oh, yeah. And they're more of a nuisance than anything else. But yeah, you can see that's a male, and they're spawning right now. And they come in here by the thousands, don't they, Tim?
Yeah, you could walk across the things if the water was shallow enough.
But how many have we caught today like that?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Went back to that jigging minnow, and I gotta tell you folks, it has been a long day, hasn't it, Tim?
Yes, it has.
I don't know what this is gonna be, but a jigging minnow, you'd sure think it's a nice walleye, right?
I would surely think so. It looks like head shakes.
Whoa, over to this side now.
Yeah.
Be a big walleye, be a big walleye, right, Tim?
Yes, sir. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay, buddy. Take my time with them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We got a lot of current.
That is amazing how these things fight into this current.
We had to lose 3 or 4 because of that.
Oh gosh, yeah, I would say. Oh, just
like a nice
staying
fish.
down.
Try and keep him down as much as you can until he gets up here.
Yeah, I want to keep leverage on him anyway, you know?
Yep.
Wow, that's a battle, buddy. What are you thinking?
It looks like it's a mid-20s.
Have you seen the fish?
Yeah, I can see it down there a little bit.
Okay. I told you wanted to move, and I said, no, let's stay here. Oh, here he comes.
Here goes an island.
Okay, what do we got here, Tim? Have you've seen the fish?
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is a battle in this current. Might be a giant walleye, right?
That's what it looked like.
Ooh, here he comes. Oh my gosh, do not miss this fish. Do not miss this fish. Do not miss that fish.
The hook just popped out too.
Oh man, did that thing battle me.
That's a big one.
That is a big walleye. That's a 31 incher, isn't it, my
Yeah,
friend?
it looks like it.
Look at this, folks. That is a fish of a lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think there, pal?
That's a dandy, buddy.
Isn't that a beautiful fish? Is that a spawned out female?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we see a lot of fish. There are a lot of fish out by the dam spawning today, and they're not going to eat, right?
Not as much as these fish. When these fish are done spawning, though, they're ready to chow.
Isn't that a beauty?
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
That's got to be 28, 29 for sure.
Did you see the fight too?
Yeah, that was a battle.
That was a great fight. And I want to tell the folks too, you know, while we'll let this fish go in a second here. It's cold water, so she'll release fine. But on your float trips, you'll do walleyes for another month, and then what happens?
Then I'll switch to smallmouth. We'll start to catch some of the big pre-spawn smallmouth at the end of the month here too. And last year we got a couple that were in 6-pound range, and we got one that was over 7. So.
Wow. So in other words, you do this all summer and into fall.
Yeah, I'll be running smallmouth trips all the way till fall, and then we switch to trout in the fall.
Hold that one out. And tell the folks what happened before. I had a minnow come back. I had a bite. What happened?
It bit everything but the head off.
Yeah, I missed that one. That was cool, huh?
Heck yeah, we needed that.
We got to be honest with the folks. Except for snag and suckers, we went 2-3 hours there without a walleye, right?
It was tough for a while, John. Now you had 2 bites right in a row. Hopefully we're on to something good here.
Well, I want to talk about using a minnow in the river, and I like a Google-Eye jig, you know, because it's got a little bit of a vibration to it. But I don't mind dead hooking the minnow, right?
No, you can absolutely dead hook them as long as there's some movement, there's current there. They're not just sitting still, so the fish will still eat them.
So you cast out and just kind of lift your rod up and drop it real slow?
Yep. Sometimes you can even drag it and they'll pick it up right off the bottom too. But usually I try to lift real slow and wait till it hits the bottom again.
Thanks, that was the thrill. That really was the thrill.
That was awesome.
When I saw him, I didn't want to lose him.
No, that was awesome. We needed that badly.
Folks, it's time now to announce this week's winners of the Fleet Farm John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2026 Fishing Contest.
This week's first winner is Eric Mariner of Peshtigo, Wisconsin. He caught a 41-inch northern pike in Waukesha County using a shiner. Stephen Lawrence of Yorkville, Illinois, caught a 15-inch perch in Plainfield on a private lake using a jig and a wax worm. And Thomas Jones of Bourbonnais, Illinois, caught this 31-inch blue catfish on Clinton Lake using chicken breast. David Durden of Kenosha caught this 15-inch perch in Onalaska using an orange plastic on a jig. On to our youth winners with Jace Bradford of Sheboygan. He caught a 21.5-inch largemouth bass on Crystal Lake using a minnow. And he released it too. And finally, Travis Pucker of North Fond du Lac caught a 10-inch bluegill on Lake Winnebago using a Castmaster.
Kind of a tough day today, but we did get that one big fish. But I'll tell you what, Ryan just checked the radar. There's some pretty serious storms around. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we're going to get out of here. We're in a rubber raft. Not that great of an idea to deal with thunderstorms in this.
All right, so let's back in, and I'm ready for tomorrow. You too?
Yeah, we'll get after it again tomorrow and see what we can do.
This is the estimated rainfall total over the last 24 hours. And the orange, as you see here, 2 to 4 inches of rain.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, Timmy, that river looks pretty dang high.
Yeah, she got nasty.
I mean, seriously, have you ever seen the river this high?
I've maybe seen it this high a couple of times, but it's been a long time.
Well, we got to give it a try. We need a show for Saturday, right?
Yes, we do.
Ooh, how do we get through this? I got tennis shoes on.
Come over here.
All right. I can't go through that.
No, come on over here. Got a little bit of water you'll have to walk through.
No, that's all right, buddy.
Nothing crazy.
Nope. I'll tell you what, folks. This is amazing. Last night up here in the Green Bay, Peshtigo area, literally had 2 to 3 inches of rain. This river is totally at flood level. But Tim, we got to give her a try today because we need a show for this Saturday. And we got a few fish yesterday, but that storm sure chased us off the water. So we're safe, right? I guess is the big question.
Absolutely, John, we're safe.
Now, what do you think about the fishing, though? I mean, this is incredible, the amount of water that's coming through here.
Yeah, we're going to have to find some slack spots where the fish will be resting. They're not going to sit in this heavy current like this. They'll sit wherever they can take a rest, and that's where we need to be.
I'll tell you what, folks, Tim is a great guide, and the fact that he is out here today to get us a show for Saturday is pretty impressive. Because, Tim, this is not easy dealing with floodwaters.
No, it's pretty hectic. We had some interesting stuff getting the boat in the water, that's for sure.
Ooh, you got something, huh?
Yeah.
We found some nice slack water here, folks. Hoping it's a walleye, All right, let's see what we got here. To start our day. Ooh, nice walleye. Here's the net. Get him over here. Whoa.
Hold up. There you go. No net. Scoot.
There we go. I got my rod out too. Oh my gosh. Get him, Timmy. That is a beautiful walleye, pal. Here's the deal today, folks. As rough as that and fast as that water out there is in the middle of the river, you find a slack area like this, I believe that's where these fish are going to hold up because they don't want to be in that heavy water there, do they, Tim?
No, they're sitting.
I think I got a stick here, buddy. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. Just an incredible fish. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And that was on that flash lure?
Yeah, the flash shad.
The flash shad. And you just cast that out, rip it, let it fall, huh?
Yep, you want it to get down and almost touch the bottom each time.
Hey, thanks for having the gumption to get out here today because I don't think too many guys would do it. I mean, I'm proud of you, you know that?
Thank you, sir.
Still using that flash?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, look at that, folks. I'll tell you what, when I woke up this morning, I didn't think we'd have a chance. You know that? I really didn't.
Pretty nasty looking.
Oh, look at the rod going.
Come on.
Oh, it is a walleye. It is a walleye. Get him, Tim. Get him, buddy. Nicely done. You're going to have me switching here pretty quick. You know that?
Yeah.
And
buddy.
folks, I think that we got actually a nice day now. And I think as this day goes on, we might have some pretty good fishing with these post-spawn fish moving into this slack water.
Yeah.
You thinking the same thing?
I think so. They got to go on the feed at some point. The last 2 days been tough.
That a spawned out male?
Yes, it is. No, it's a female.
It is a female.
Yeah.
That's a good sign, folks. So that means, you know, you'll have about, what, 3-4 more weeks of availability for this walleye fishing?
I believe so.
And people should give you a call. You got some openings.
Absolutely. And this big smallmouth will start chewing real soon, too.
Trusted by Midwest families since 1955. Available at your local Fleet Farm store or online at fleetfarm.com. This week, fish aggressive with the Rapala Snare 50 crankbaits. Perfect for ripping, casting, or jigging, 2 for $12. Plus, take full control on the water with the Minn Kota Tarova trolling motor and get a free $100 Fleet Farm gift card with purchase. But you gotta hurry, sale ends April 19th.
Feel the difference in every cast, in every bite, in every moment, in every adventure, no matter the season. When everything is on the line, every memory you make, feel the difference.
I'm going to have to switch. That's 3 in a row for you, isn't it?
Yes,
Ooh, look at the battle. Look at the battle.
Sure felt like...
Timmy. I'll tell you what, I was so close to not coming today, and I'm glad we did, you know, braving this rough water, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really am. Oh, Timmy.
Come here.
You need help?
Nope, got him.
Oh, nice job, buddy. Nice job. That is just, look at the size of that walleye, folks. And Tim, you know, I've fished with you a long time now, buddy. You always put us on fish, but these are trophies, you know? You don't get bit a lot, but when you do, hold on.
It's been a good one today. All these fish been tanks.
Now again, folks, this is such a neat trip to do with Tim. You got to get out here and do this with him. And again, it's not only the Peshtigo, it's the Peshtigo, the Oconto, what other rivers? The Wolf River?
The Menominee.
You do a lot of them.
Yeah, I got several other smaller rivers I do for smallmouth and different things.
Trophy. Are you still doing that deal where kids are free?
Yeah, kids under 16 for free.
So explain that. A father-son, father-daughter?
Yeah, if you bring a father brings their son or daughter under 16 years old, the kid comes for free.
That's awesome. And a chance for that.
Yes,
Look
sir.
at that. Hold that out. I mean, come on, man. That's a giant. Oh, I put that jig and minnow back on. This is a big fish, Timmy.
Good
Timmy,
deal.
get that net ready, buddy. This could be the big fish of the day, my friend. Okay, here he comes, buddy. Here he comes. Oh my Lord, look at the size of that fish on that Google-Eye jig, folks, and a minnow. And I'm gonna tell you a little secret here about what I did. And you said stick with that, and I did.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
Gobbled that down.
Folks, tell them what I was doing.
Just he was almost vertical jigging. We've been getting all our bites on a seam right next to the boat.
Right.
So I had him just set up on the seam, just
pulling and dropping, and boom, huh? We are having a day.
Yeah.
Flood conditions and great walleye fishing, folks. This is awesome. Ooh, finally. We've gone a couple hours here, folks, and Tim finally got a hit. You put one of those hair jigs on, huh?
No, this is a plastic.
This is a plastic. Okay, buddy. Look at that rod bending. Keep it down, I gotta tell you, keep it down. Ooh, there I see your leader material. Have you seen the fish?
No, not yet. It's a solid fish. It thumped the crap out of that.
Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Oh my gosh, this is a long big butt walleye, and you got him. Hey, before you take that fish out, I want to tell you that is stick-to-itiveness. We've gone, what, 2 hours?
It's been a minute.
But that's what it teaches you a lesson. Hang in there, right?
Yeah, we went 4 or 5 bites real quick, and then it was quiet for a while, but the water got really dirty for a little bit too. We found a different spot and caught some more fish.
I cannot wait to see this. That is a beautiful fish. Actually, everything we've caught today is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, they've all been good fish. We haven't caught one single male. This is a spawned out female, but she's a darn nice fish.
Well, I want to mention to the folks that this time of year, folks, you can keep one walleye over 15 inches, but come May 2nd, the walleyes will still be in the river, and you can keep how many?
You can keep 5 a day then.
And you still get them in early May?
Yeah, you get eater size fish too, so they're not these big old spawned out females and stuff. It's usually the males, 18, 19 inch fish.
What do you think she weighed a couple days ago?
She had to be 8, 9 pounds.
Wow, congratulations, beautiful catch.
For more information, give Tim a call. That phone number is 920-604-4169. 604-4169.
They say things aren't built like they used to be. Tell that to John Johnson, the craftsman behind Recon Boats. He and his small team make each boat by hand, maintaining the highest standards. Every shred of fiberglass, every stitch of upholstery, every latch, hinge, and switch. It's all in the details, which is why the angler is at the forefront of the design philosophy for every Recon boat. Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen.
Folks, taking a break in the fishing, I am here with Tom from Johnsonville to share an exciting new innovation from Johnsonville Sausage. What do we got today, Tom?
Ryan, we're so excited to announce that we have fresh sausage and ready-to-eat sausage infused with Dr. Pepper.
Do you think people are going to argue whether or not the pre-cooked or the fresh brats are better?
That's what we're going to interested in all the viewers to see. Do they like the fresh or like the pre-cooked better? As always, we want to cook them low and slow, turning them constantly so they don't burn.
Are they available now?
They're available now. And again, with Johnsonville, they're made with premium cuts of pork, Johnsonville natural spices, and infused with Dr. Pepper.
I can't wait to try this. Here we go. That's good. It's like a sweet and salty kind of flavor. I like it a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Look for Johnsonville at your favorite retailer today.
Hey Tim, I woke up this morning and saw those water levels, buddy. I didn't think we had a chance. I want to thank you. You did a great job today. It was not easy, was it?
No, it wasn't easy, but we made it work. We got some really nice fish.
Now you got openings?
Yes, I do.
Give Tim a call because you'll have a lot of fun. And folks, that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know if we're going to fish yet. We'll find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Back to that jerk minnow there, Tim. This doesn't feel like a big one. Let's see what we got here. Of course, he's going up current. Well, let's see here. Is he coming, Timmy?
Yep.
Is he coming, buddy? There we go.
Sucker.
There we go.
It's a damn sucker.
Is that really hooked in the mouth?